Hey everybody. I have some friends that I saw a discussion on Facebook, and they were wanting to know how to can. So I'm doing a canning, getting the pressure canner ready, and loading it. What you should do to prepare to get everything in your canner while you babysit it, because I am doing my Bush's baked bean video. Stay tuned, it'll be posted soon. My chickens are out there and they keep catching my eye. So I'm gonna do just a basic video of just how to can with a pressure canner. Not actually a recipe, just a step-by-step how to do it. Now, number one, a lot of people pour vinegar in their canner. I do not, because vinegar can break down the seals and not make them hold. And yes, I know they've been doing it for years, hundreds of years or whatever, but it's my preference. You can add vinegar, a dollop of vinegar to your canner if you want to. I don't, just like I don't wipe my rims and lids with vinegar. I use just a wet paper towel. The seal will break down. The vinegar will eat the rubber of the seal, and they won't be shelf stable as long. It might just take them a year or less, but I just like doing it where it doesn't break it down, because I also reuse if my lids are in good shape and they still have a good ring on them, I'll reuse them. So that's what I choose to do. If you want to wrap your rims with vinegar, paper towel, and put a dollop of vinegar in your pressure canner, you can. It's your kitchen, your rules. So with that being said, I'll start showing you how I prepare. Now, I cleaned and sterilized all my jars yesterday, so they're cold. And to heat them back up, because I'm going to be putting hot ingredients in my jars, so I need to, if you're putting hot, your jars need to be hot. If you're doing cold, your jars need to be cold. That prevents cracking and breaking. So let me get y'all over here, and I'll show you how I heat up my jars after they're washed and sterilized. Okay, I'm just kind of moving my camera around and my light so y'all can see. But there's my jars. I've got them. They're cold, and they're on a cold baking sheet. And I'm going to shut the oven, and I'm going to put my oven at 200. And I'm just going to start it. And so they will be good and hot when I get ready to put in the hot ingredients. Next, I will take my lids and I will put them in water to boil. So here I actually have my rings in here just so they'll heat up a little bit, but it's most important to have your rings down in the water. I will turn them on when I start filling my jars, and they will be good and pliable to form to the jar. This is my canner. Just put this down in the bottom for the jars to sit on, and then you fill it with 3 to 4 quarts of water. So here I am putting my water in, and since I will be doing hot jars and hot beans, and I will turn this on and let it be heating, just without the lid or anything. I just let my water heat up. Okay, I'm about to start filling jars, so I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to turn it on high and let it boil, and then I'll turn it off so my jars and lids will be warm. Okay, so I take and I wash all my lids with a paper towel with water, and I've already done those back behind there, but I wipe them really good so we get a good seal. Then you take, these rings are just very long. You take your, well, you take your lids and you just stick them on. And you put them on just fingertip tight. You don't cinch them down real hard because it'll cause the lid to bow. My jars, and I set them in my canner. And I put 4 quarts of water in my canner. Okay, let me move y'all where you can. So as you can see, this is popped up where it was flat before, and you can hear the air coming out of the valve. And you let this, do this for 10 minutes before you put the weight on. Okay, my timer's going off, so I've let this vent for 10 minutes. You just go in on the side and pop your weight on there. Then you watch this gauge get to 10 pounds. I don't know if you can, there we go. It goes to 10, then you start dropping down the temperature, and you, at our sea level, you do 10 pounds. They're quart jars. So you'll do them for 90 minutes because they're beans. Every recipe will have its own time limit of pressure canning. These pinto beans, I have to do them, navy beans, I have to do them 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. So I don't start timing until this gets to 10. Now if you're pressure canning and you drop the heat and you're not watching it real good, and you drop your heat down to keep it at 10 and it drops below 10, well, you have to bring your heat back up and start timing all over again at 10 pounds. So you want to really watch and make sure that this stays up here in the 10 pound range. Now it can go on up and be higher than 10 pounds, but as long as it does not drop below the 10 pounds, you can keep, sorry, my grandbabies are playing. But as long as it don't drop below the 10 pounds, you can keep it timing. And as you see, this says caution, so if you get over 20 pounds, that's the reason why you need to sit and babysit it and keep an eye on it so that it will not get too much pressure on it. So when it gets up to pressure, I'll come back and I'll show you what I do and how it'll go way up and I'll have to drop my temperature down and kind of watch it and see where it goes. But as you see, it's moving up pretty quick, and once it hits the 10 pound place, then I'll start my timer for 90 minutes. Okay, you can see that my thing is on 10 pounds, past 10 pounds, so I'm going to drop it down because I already know. I'm going to drop this down to about 7. And I'm going to watch it to make sure that it don't drop too fast and that it don't go past 10. I've already started my timer for 90 minutes. And so for the next 90 minutes, I will be sitting here doing things and keeping an eye on this gauge to keep it from going. And as you see, it's still okay. As you can see that my look at all the condensation that's under there. That's awful. But you can see that it's way up past 10 pounds, and I've brought my temperature down a whole lot, a little at a time. So it's starting to ease back down. It was up closer to 15, And I'll keep my eye on it while I clean up this kitchen and stuff and keep it in between 10 and 15 pounds for 90 minutes. Okay, so now this has been cooking for 90 minutes. So now I'm going to turn off the stove and I'm going to let it come down naturally on its own. It'll take it a while. I'll leave the weight on, and when that comes all the way to 0, I'll take the weight off. This should drop down, and then I can open it. I will show you how I do that. I'll demonstrate that when all the pressure is gone. Okay, it's just about to 0, but we'll have to wait till this pops down before we can open it. It'll be all the way to 0 and that'll pop down. You can still hear the air escaping. Okay, so this is at 0 and this is popped down. So now I can take, let me put this down. Now I can take this off, and then you twist your lid to open it. Let's see, can y'all see what I'm doing? I think you're too close. And then when you open your lid, you pull it up and open it away from your face so that the steam does not hit your face. And there you have your canned goods. You take them out with your little grabbers, set them on the counter, and I cover mine with a towel so they'll cool down slow, and let them sit untouched for 12 hours. Now I will go in and try to tighten the rings. Once I get them out, just some of them are loose and you just fingertip tighten them back up and let them sit for 12 hours. And then after 12 hours, you take the rings off and you pick the jar up by the lid. And if it doesn't pop off, it's got a good seal. Which you'll hear them pop. You can test it with the center of how they pop. If one is mushy in the center, then you can take it and put it in your refrigerator and use it within the next 2 or 3 days. And but to test the seal that it's good and tight, the center is popped. It doesn't wiggle, and you pick it up by the lid. Just pick the jar up a little bit off the counter, and if it holds, then you're good to go. And that's how you can. So my canner has this little arrow right here on the handle, and you have the arrow on your lid that's right here. I don't know if you can see it with the reflections or whatever, but you set it on here. Well, I got it too far over. There we go. All right, and so you line your arrows. Let me see, where are you? You line your arrows up and you twist. Okay, so now let me make this stuff. I will turn this on high, and when as you notice, I don't have my weight. Right here is my weight. I will let this vent. Once it starts venting, this will pop up. I don't know if I've got it where y'all can see. This will pop up, and this will start venting. And you let this vent. You'll see steam, or you'll hear steam coming out of the valve. You let it steam for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, you take your weight and you put it on it. Now you have to be very careful because that is hot, and you have to come in on the side. I had it in the wrong hand. You have to come in on the side and chop it down like that. But we will let this get up to boil, and when it starts venting and I'm timing it, I'll come back.